March 27th, looking for the assets. In accordance with the principles of recovery, we try not to judge, stereotype, or moralize with each other. Basic text, page 11. How many times in our recovery have we misunderstood the behavior of another, immediately formed a judgment, applied a label, and neatly tucked the individual into a pigeonhole? Perhaps they had developed a different understanding of a power greater than themselves than we had, so we concluded their beliefs were unspiritual. Or maybe we saw a couple having an argument. We assumed their relationship was sick, only to find out later that their marriage had prospered for many years. Thoughtlessly tossing our fellows into categories saves us the effort of finding out anything about them. Every time we judge the behavior of another, we cease to see them as potential friends and fellow travelers on the road to recovery. If we happen to ask those we are judging if they appreciate being stereotyped, we would receive a resounding no in response. Would we feel slighted if this were done to us? Yes, indeed. Our best qualities are what we want others to notice. In the same way, our fellow recovering addicts want to be well thought of. Our program of recovery asks us to look positively at life. The more we concentrate on the positive qualities in others, the more we'll notice them in ourselves. Just for today, I will set aside my negative judgments of others and concentrate instead on appreciating the favorable qualities in all. I'm Herb the Addictaholic. This is Just for Today. I try not to judge. I've always tried not to judge. I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood. And when I say diverse, I mean socioeconomic as well as different ethnicities, all different walks of life. So I've always had an exposure, to people from the park bench to Park Avenue, so to speak. So I have a harder time judging, but there is still some prejudice that goes on. It's natural to some extent for us to, try to categorize because it does make, understanding people faster. But it's not always necessarily the correct route to go, because within a group of, let's say, people that listen to punk music, there's going to be one, punk that also listens to classical, and then there's going to be a punk that listens to rap, and there's some eclectic punks, so you might be at a punk show and you think these are all people that are so specified into one general area, but typically every person is going to have their individual fingerprints, right? Their individual lens that they see life through, their own family of origin, their own upbringing and exposures and things that make them individual and unique. So to categorize people, to stereotype people, to pigeonhole them, so to speak, it's not always the best route. It's best to get to know somebody individually and not uphold these judgments. At least don't be so rigid in the stereotypes. Sometimes we do fall into a stereotype. Sometimes you can explain a little bit about somebody based on certain groups that they belong to, but it's not everything. It's a maybe a way in to a beginning of understanding, but definitely not the only way to understand people. And today I try not to judge anybody by whatever group or category they might appear to fall into, because once I get to know them, I'm often very surprised that there's a lot more to that person than meets the eye. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope to see you tomorrow. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.